Hello everyone and welcome back to the Battle of Edgehill. We are starting turn 2 now and the time is 3:15 PM in the battle. I wanted to film this video from the start of the turn so we can see some of the tactical decisions that are being made in the battle, but I'm not going to play every turn through in detail. But this is a particularly interesting scene here. So Prince Rupert is going to start this turn. He's on a charge order down here, and he's the most senior officer on the table right now. There's no preemption attempts from the opposing wing. The parliamentarians are quite happy with their position down there. They've got a good solid defensive position set up. And Prince Rupert, he needs to work out how he's going to break these lines. He's particularly worried about the 2,000 heavy infantry units down here. He doesn't want to charge at them head on. Charging with 200 or 300 horse is not going to make much of an impact at all. It's going to drive his own cavaliers away. It would be suicide to attempt that right now. What Rupert really needs is the support of this heavy infantry here, so if they can sort of move up there in that direction and be supported by the cavalry, that would be good. The problem Rupert's got is he can't get through to this cavalry, not without a lot of issues, because as soon as he moves up here, he's going to come under reactive fire from the enemy, and you know, this heavy infantry unit here, that could fire a salvo as soon as the horse try and come past there. So the parliamentarian forces have set up quite a nice defensive structure here. Now, what Rupert's realised is he really needs these three out the way here. And the way he's going to attempt to do this is move his 300 musketeer units up and try and take out these units of 100 musketeers each. So the first person to move in this turn is going to be Prince Rupert. He has to be very tactical about this, because if he comes within 4 hexes of any of these cavalry, they could attempt to intercept him. And if they intercept him and send Rupert off the table or kill Rupert, that's not going to be good for the cavaliers, and Rupert needs to be there to lead. So, let me just see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be the interception line. And we have to bear in mind that Rupert needs to actually move 1 forward every turn, and the enemy in their turn, they could potentially move up 1. So he doesn't want to get himself in a position where he can be intercepted really, so he's going to have to be quite cautious on the movement here, but he needs to have enough command range to get these musketeers moving up. And what Rupert's going to do is he's going to move all his forces up gently for now, and then he's going to immediately try for a continuation attempt. And the reason for the continuation attempt will be to try and get these musketeers into there to fire at these up here. So let's see how this is going to play out. So Rupert's going to move forward 1. Okay, so what he needs to do now is see how his other forces are going to move up. They need to start straightening out. On the front line, I think we want these. There, you got 600 horse there, so they're going to move up carefully as well. So let's see, they're going to move into there, keeping away from interception. So I think we need to get these 300 up there as well. And the units have to move forward 1, so the King's Lifeguard can come up, push him further out. King Charles, he's going to move in this round. He's not doing much at the minute. He's not hurting there. Want to move these 400 units at the back, so they're still in command. If they wasn't, they'd have to move back into command. 1, 2... Oh. Put them... Yeah. Charles back. So the person who haven't moved these dragoons. Now the dragoons are on a hedge-lined road, so let's just check the movement table here. So we've got a hedge-lined road for light infantry. So it says the movement point cost to enter is 2. It doesn't say if they turn around on the hex how many movement points it takes up. So light infantry has a movement allowance of 6. Let's see what happens here. So they're not actually entering the X, but they are going to perform a manoeuvre there. So got 1. They're still in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that's them done. So these dragoons are going to come up here. There's no interception range there. They don't take any formation hits because they are light infantry. So that's them done. And then the musketeers, which Rupert really wants up there. So are the hedges any different? So the hedges, so it's 2 movement points to enter them. So let's see how far we can get these up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're still in command. They can trace a line of 2 to the next unit. Okay, so this is looking more interesting now. Now Prince Rupert needs to roll for a continuation. And if he can get that continuation, these can advance fire onto there. So the question is now, is it worth Ramsay trying to do a preemption of this continuation? Probably not. So let's go back here. So what do we need for a continuation? Well, on charge orders, Prince Rupert gets a -1 modifier. So he needs a 0 to 3. It's got the wing commander's leadership rating, which is -2, and we've got a cavalry wing. So we can take 3 off there. Right, so we've got a dice roll -3, and we get it. That's a continuation attempt. So Prince Rupert now has to move again. Okay. So let's see what happens here. Prince Rupert has now got a continuation. So let's see how we're going to play this out. So I think we need to move these dragoons up 2 still, because that's going to help keep these musketeers in command as they move out. Now let's do the first firing attempt, because then that will dictate what we want to do with the rest of our cavalry. So we're going over the hill here, and now for the first shots of the battle here, they're taking place with these musketeers. These parliamentarian musketeers, they've seen what's coming and they're going to react with their fire. So this is a parliament attacking the cavaliers here. Let's see on our firing chart what we need. This is the light infantry and cavalry fire table. So you see, if they had more than 1 strength point, they'd be able to add some firepower to their roll, but they haven't. These have got 100 strength here. So we're looking for a 8 or 9. There's no negative modifiers there. 8 or 9. 8 or 9 to make a hit. And we've got it! Wow. Okay, so what's happened here? That didn't work out well for the cavaliers at all. So we've got 1 damage. We've got 1 damage. So let's get a token from here. And so the musketeers have been hit. They're down to 200 men only. This could well trigger a morale check now. And we need to check that on the morale chart. Let's have a look. I don't know if there's a morale chart down here. It might be in the instructions that would need to look for that. So I haven't played this game in quite a while, so I just need to check the rules here. Casualty threshold. Yeah, so there should be a casualty threshold table. Where's that casualty threshold table? So I thought it'd be... Ah, here we go. That's what I was looking for. So the original strength of the unit was 3, and the original morale of the unit is 6. So yes, so they've taken 1 hit, so they now need a morale check. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So what we need to do is, where's the process for checking morale? Let's see. I think you have to roll equal or under. I'm just checking about the equal part. Check morale on the roll the dice and add the leadership rating of the one leader which is stacked with when it's not stacked with anything. Equal or lower, exactly. Equal or lower. So we need to roll to pass this morale check. We need 6 or less, otherwise this is a disaster. And luckily they passed that. So that was a blow. That was a blow. I didn't expect that at all to happen. And now we do at least have the opportunity to fire back now. So, because we was advancing fire in that encounter over there, let's see what's going to happen here. So, again, we're looking at the commanded muskets table. We've got a strength point of 2 now, so we did start with 300. 100 units have gone, 100 soldiers have been killed. So we're going to have a +1 modified to our die roll. So we need a 7, 8 or 9 would do. And it's a 2, so that's a miss. Okay, so that wasn't successful at all. But it's not all over yet, because there could be some close combat later. Surely that's shaken up Prince Rupert now. He was relying on that. So the tide of the battle could be turning for this right wing already. So how is he going to play this out? So he's still got to move all his cavalry. Watching for the 1, 2, 3, 4. So he doesn't really want to end up anywhere near there because he could get some interception. So I think he's going to move all his cavalry forward 1 again. He's really looking for this wing to actually come up and support him in the central wing. Let's start moving all these. Right. So that's it for the movement phase. Now there's close combat potential here. The Cavaliers could declare close combat. If they don't declare close combat, then the Parliamentarian forces can actually declare close combat if they wish to. Now the Musketeers would have hoped to take that 100 out. The risk of close combat is the Rupert could lose his Musketeers in this now. Or they could certainly be very damaged and ineffective after this round. But he's got no option. He's got 200 men against 100 men, and he's going to go into close combat now. So let's look at the close combat table. So what do we have here? So we just need to roll the dice and then apply the modifiers. Let's just see what happens then. We'll apply the modifiers after we've rolled it. So we've got a dice roll of 7. 7 is the dice roll. And what do we have? We've got no commanders stacked. Morale differential. So the morale over here is 6 and 4. So this is where they're going to play in. So so the differential is 2 there, so that's a 9. The strength ratio is 2 to 1 in the favour of the parliamentarians, so that would take it up to 10. I'm not sure where 10-3-4 is, I don't need to check that. It's got 10. The close combat, it's no difference there because it's light infantry versus light infantry, so we've got a score of 10. And there's no pistol shots. It's a distraction. Defender eliminated. Attacker must advance into a vacated hex and check for cavalry pursuit, which we don't use here. Right, so what's going to happen here? We've eliminated this unit. That doesn't mean much for victory points because it's the heavy infantry units that we need to get rid of, and distraction of these lone musketeers won't help. We have to move into there. So we move into there, and we've been taken out of command here. Next time we're going to have to move back into command. But this musketeer, he's coming in to support now. He's going to fire out of his flank. He's got to fire across a hedge, so it's not going to be easy for him. It may not even be possible. Let's have a look. So again, so we need to check. There's no flank modifiers there. I'm pretty sure we can fire out a flank. Let's have a look. He could have also made a reaction movement if he really wanted to. Fire. You know, fire, reaction fire. Range, it's fine. Units may fire through their front or flank hexes. There you go. So it's in their flank hexes and we're reacting to that movement there. So what's the fire effect though? Because we're firing across a hedge. So if we fire across a hedge, so we've got -1 to the die roll. We've got -1 to the die roll. So effectively, he's going to need 9. Only a 9 is going to do here to actually hit that. So if we get 9, we got 9 before, so it's possible. Let's see. 0 completely misses. So he's not making bad progress. It's a even so far, so we've lost 100 on one side, 100 on the other side, and Prince Rupert is now going to make a second continuation attempt. Let's see what happens. Let's keep this momentum going. So again, back to the continuation table. He's on a charge. Let's see. He's got it. He's got it. So for the second continuation attempt, we would have added a +1 down here for a second attempt, but his leadership rating is -2. So let's see what happens again. The question is, can we bring these other dragoons into play now? Let's see if we can calculate that. So go 1, 2, 3. We can. We can. But we need to make sure we're in range of everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So potentially an interception could take place up here. So we've got to be careful. So really he wants to look to be moving that way. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. That's going to be possible. So let's see if we can do this. Right, so we can. So in this phase, he can move or fire. So let's do some skirmish fire over here. So this 200 musket's going to fire at the dragoons here. Let's see what happens. Seven. So is that a miss? But he's got a strength point of 1, so that's actually a hit. But he's firing across the hedge, which would be a, I believe, -1 effect. So it's not a hit. He gets a +1, then he gets -1. So he's missed. That was unfortunate. If he hadn't lost that strength point, that would have been fine. So the parliamentarians are now going to counter-fire back. And they need a 9. And look what they've got. A 9. So things are looking bad now. So that's 200. This is not going well for Rupert at all. We didn't expect that. That's just the luck of the dice for it. So he's definitely going to have to take a morale check again. I'm looking for a 6 or less. I think we also need to apply another modifier actually. So we've got casualty hits from fire combat. Each casualty hit after the casualty threshold is met, which is what I'm wondering about. So yes, he's going to have to roll a 5 or less now. Looking for 5 or less to avoid a morale hit. He gets it 2, so the morale is not yet broken. That's that firing done. So that didn't work out too well for Rupert. And now the dragoons are going to have to move in carefully. So we've got there and there. So he's made it. So again, reaction fire. So this is the same musketeers firing back. And here we're looking for, there's no modifiers this time, so we're looking for an 8 or 9. 8! This is lucky rolling from the parliamentarians. And the dragoons that time, they only had 200. So, you know, they've took a fire hit. This is not looking good at all. So their original morale was only 6. They've got to add +1 to the die roll, so we're looking for a 5 or less. That's lucky. 1. Okay. That's 1. Sorry, there's one thing I should have pointed out. After the close combat that occurred, the side should have taken a formation hit. So I'm just going to adjust that now. This is the beauty with playing solo war games. If you make a mistake, you can change it whenever you want. You can interpret the rules however you want. It's a license to play as you want. There's no there's no people looking to make sure you're playing the right rules here. So that was a hit, and luckily there was no morale there. So now the dragoons at least get a chance to fire back. If they get a good shot here, they could wipe out the 100 enemy troops yet. Let's see. So we're looking for, again, we're looking for a 8 or 9 here. What we got? 8! He's wiped out. Wow. Wow. So he's been destroyed. Again, won't count for victory points, but they're starting to clear down here. Now Prince Rupert really needs to decide what he's going to do with the rest of his cavalry here. He does need support of the central infantry. I still think it's too risky for him to try to do too much here. He must be getting a bit happier now to wipe out them. To try and attack over here, he's just going to take too many formation hits. He's not on the right order for that. He's going to have to attack up here. It's too dangerous, so he is going to just advance very cautiously. Very cautiously. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to pick up this battle a bit later on. So thanks for watching.